Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and today we're going to be doing a comparison between my American Vintage 65 Jazzmaster that I've had for a decade now and the newer Fender American Vintage 2 66 Jazzmaster that I recently got from Sweetwater. We'll be doing a sound comparison using the Tone King Gremlin combo amplifier. Then afterwards, I'll be talking about how they feel compared to one another because that plays a major factor, and there is one noticeable difference feel-wise between the two of these instruments. We are going to start off with the sound comparisons. I mic'd up the Tone King Gremlin combo amp with the Shure SM57. For driven sounds, I used the Brown Amplification Protein pedal as well as the Benson preamp. Any reverb or delay would be coming from the Strymon Volante. However, it is worth noting that the electronics on this guitar as far as the pickups go have been modified. This has a set of Lindy Fralin stock pickups as well as a Stay Trend bridge. The American Vintage 2 Jazzmaster is exactly as it was from the factory. So let's hear how they sound compared to one another. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time recapping the sound comparisons we just did for a few reasons. The first being, I didn't feel it was a true apples to apples test, as this guitar is stock and the gold American Vintage 65 has the set of Lindy Fralin pickups in it. Additionally, that set of pickups are actually set to be a little bit lower as far as the heights of them, so they're a little further away from the strings, because the way I have that guitar dialed in is to be my big, warm, mellow sounding Jazzmaster. This guitar is as it was from the factory and definitely has a little bit more high end coming through because the pickup heights as they were when I got it. Really, both of these guitars do sound great, although different for the reasons that have been stated. Perhaps in the future, we'll do a video where we compare the stock American 66 pickups with the Lindy Fralin pickups, and maybe even the Lawler 63 pickups, all in the same guitar at a later date. If that's something you'd be interested in seeing, let me know in the comment section down below. And the other reason I didn't want to spend that much time talking about the direct comparison was because swapping pickups is both common and very easy to do. Same thing goes for the rest of the electrical components on these guitars. What's not so easy though is to make a guitar feel very different in certain ways. And that's what I want to try and give you an idea of. If you've never had the chance to play either of these guitars, what are the differences there? Because to me, there's one major difference, and it's very noticeable when I switch from guitar to guitar, and it is the neck. Both of these guitars have a rosewood fingerboard, and they're both 7¼ inch radius. Despite that though, they feel very, very different to one another. And the biggest reason for that is because this guitar starts at approximately the same kind of thickness as the American Vintage 2 at the first fret. However, the more you move up the neck, it really tapers out to a much, much, much beefier neck than the American Vintage 2 does. And it is very, very noticeable. Whereas the taper is there on the American Vintage 2. I think it starts at 0.86 and then goes to 0.91, but it's not a really large taper. This one is much more substantial than that. However, the difference in the tapers between the two necks isn't the only thing that makes them feel so different to one another. This guitar, no matter where you are on the neck, the shape of it fills out in your hand a bit more than the American Vintage 66 does. If you're somebody who's used to perhaps a larger neck, or if you're somebody who likes Gibson guitars, maybe a rounded C, 50s, R9 style, this might fit you a little bit better. Whereas if you're somebody who doesn't want a big old taper and maybe you're used to skinnier necks, it'd be a much easier adjustment, might fit your preferences a little bit more to play the American Vintage 2 63 Jazzmaster. Outside of that though, there's really not that much difference in terms of the playability. Really, the neck is the biggest differentiation here. The vibratos are the exact same on them. Yeah, this has the stage trem, the other one has the vintage bridge. In practice though, it doesn't really feel all that different. They balance really well, and that's one thing I really like about American Vintage offsets. They feel like, despite the fact that they have the bigger bodies, they do sit well on your lap, and they're not really bottom heavy, so to speak. The last thing I want to talk about that's a little bit different on this guitar compared to the American Vintage 2 is the actual finish itself and how it may or may not age equally over time. This guitar, the 65, has a thin skin nitro finish. So, just from playing the thing, you can see the paint is just worn off to a wood. It's really smooth. This guitar has started checking like absolute crazy just from being gigged. It's earned its scars, so to speak, but I'm not so sure how the blue one is going to age because it does have a poly undercoat. And is it going to wear the same way in the same exact spot? Time will tell on that, but having had a 1988 Corona Plant 62 reissue Strat, that was much older than this guitar, and it didn't wear the same way at all. So that's just one thing that it's going to be aesthetic, sure, but some people do like the idea of having the guitar relic in that kind of way naturally over time. As far as cost and value go, these things in custom colors, especially the gold when I see them, they're not cheap anymore. People caught on to the fact that these are excellent, excellent guitars, and you're looking at about $3,000 US on the used market for one in really good shape. Three-tone sunburst in white. However, you get them for just over $2,000 if you keep your eyes open. The other guitar, the American Vintage 63 Jazzmaster, new $24.99 at most major retailers. However, on the used market, or if you find a demo at a place like Sweetwater, you get it for a bit less than that. So all in all, it'll be a lot easier and more affordable to get the American Vintage 2. However, you're somebody who's a real stickler for both the neck profile and the thin skin finish, you're not getting it with that guitar. You're only going to get it with one of these or a different Jazzmaster model. That's all I have for you guys today. If you found this helpful, useful, or entertaining, please feel free to hit the like button. If you're going to buy anything from one of the affiliate links down below, such as Sweetwater or Thomann, it would help me out a lot if you use the link in the description of this video to do so. It helps make more of these sorts of videos possible on this channel. Don't forget to tell somebody in your life that you love, that you do love them. It really is important. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it easy, everybody.